Hey everybody, this is Kim with Little Biz Resources, and I am just trying to make sure we are live real quick. I know it's such a delay on here that it makes it really difficult to know when it's live or not. So it says I'm live. Let's see if everybody can hear me. Yep, and there's sound. Sweet. Oops, let's leave that up for a second. Just turn down the volume. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and jump straight in. We're going to be talking about Kibo Code, Kibo Eclipse today. And specifically, we're going to do a Kibo Eclipse review, and then we're going to talk about exclusive Kibo bonuses from us. All right, so what is Kibo Eclipse? The really core element is that it's an e-commerce drop shipping business model, okay? So drop shipping, for those who don't know, is when you find suppliers who have a product, and then you sell that, they keep it, they have it in their warehouse, and then you sell it, and then the supplier ships it to the customer on your behalf from their warehouse. Okay, so if you think about Amazon, if you were, let's say you have a store on Amazon, not your product, and you were just say, hey, I'm going to sell this stuff to somebody, and I'm going to have Amazon send it to them, right? That type of thing. Now, people actually do that, so that is a type of drop shipping model, but that's not what we're doing with Kibo. I just wanted to give you that as an example. So we don't keep the inventory. That's one of the huge benefits of it. So let's look at the process, and then we'll dive into this a little bit more. All right, I actually have this on here twice, so it's kind of bugging me. Let me hide that so it's not so cluttered. All right, so the Kibo core process. First, buy a high-quality generic domain name. And for those who are looking for discounted pricing, I'm going to tell you, we are still playing with the pricing because everybody's changing this privacy elements. So this might change, but as of right now, you can still get discounted domains through littlebizdomains.com and lock in the pricing, right? For that where it's at. Okay, so after you buy a high quality generic domain, because this is going to be a generic store, you then set up a simple store with preloaded high converting theme. They have, so when I say they, I mean Kibo. So the Kibo people, so Aiden and Steve's team, they have their own hosting. So if you think about Shopify, people go, oh, I want to sell on Shopify. I'm going to have a store on Shopify. That's just a hosted website, right? Shopify hosting is basically what it is. They have something similar, right? So Kibo has their own hosting and their own site. So you would be able to set the store up on their system. So you don't have to worry about dealing with Shopify. You don't have to worry about finding hosting somewhere. You don't have to worry about any of that. It's all part of the Kibo process. Then you identify profitable products using the Kibo software. Okay. They have a software program that they've put suppliers into, and you can go through and you can find products. I'm going to tell you now, as somebody who is a Kibo user, some of the products are not worth selling. It's just the way it is. In fact, I can almost guarantee that when they do, well, they may not have done it live anymore. In the past, when they've done live ones, they would pull up a supplier and it's like wholesale 37 packs of this. And you're like, who on earth would I sell that to? So I do understand that there are going to be a few items in there that are not really something that hits your particular market, but it could hit somebody else's, right? But their software will help you identify profitable products that you can put on your site. Then you load the website with the product listings. Okay, it's all built in. You might have to do some tweaking. I'm not going to lie and say it's all done for you because it's not. There are some elements you're going to need to adjust. Then you're going to send traffic to the product listings. Now they have a lot of different methods, right? And whatever they don't talk about, we will, because that's what we do. We've been doing e-commerce for so long, it's ridiculous. And we know how to drive traffic. So then you make a sale. And when you make the sale, the USA-based suppliers ship the products directly. So yes, you're selling in the US and they're shipping products from US suppliers. Now I'm going to mention this again, but I want to say this now because for some reason people get caught off guard by this. A supplier is not a manufacturer. Okay? So a supplier is just somebody who has product, right? So go to any store. Walmart is a supplier, but they have products from all over the place, right? So if you think about that, you're not going to go in and go, well, just because they're based in the USA, all their products are USA products. They diverted from that angle a long time ago. So the suppliers have products that are made in China, they're made in Japan, they're made in wherever, right? They're made all over the place, and they have them imported in, and they have the products here in the US, but that doesn't make them US products. Okay, for some reason, every time Kibo launches and they talk about USA-based suppliers, people go, wait, these aren't products made in the USA. They're not going to be. Most products are not made in the US. And I know last year I had a stat for it, but since the pandemic kind of put a crimp in supply chains, I don't even know what the real number is anymore. So we won't talk about it, but I know it's an absurdly high number of products that are made outside of the US. All right, so then after that, you optimize, and I add in scale. So they actually said optimize, but we would also scale because it's silly not to scale. It didn't go forward. There it goes. All right, so let's talk about Kibo Eclipse specific. So that was just the Kibo core model. Now in Kibo Eclipse, and I have not seen Kibo Eclipse, guys. This is, you guys get to see the same information we do as we go through. I'm not one of their inside scoop people, right? I mean, there are a couple of them, but I don't think they are affiliates. They're just people that are in their system. So I can't tell you what these numbers, what the inside secrets are, like we're going to talk about in just a second. But Kibo members generated millions of dollars in sales in 2021. Okay, so that's one thing that they're going to show off that's specific to Kibo Eclipse. This is going to be part of their hype, I should say. They've invested close to $1 million in perfecting the software and tools. Probably more than that by now, but at least $1 million, right? Probably close to that or higher now. It's entirely new training. So it's what's working right now. That's important to understand because there are programs out there that when they launch, they're launching the exact same program. They're just doing the launch as a hype. This is not a hype. Kibo Eclipse is the third version of Kibo, right? So the core Kibo has built each year. This is the third time we're doing it. It's going to improve upon the last two. So it's going to be something new and advanced in what's working right now. That doesn't mean that the last ones are irrelevant. It just means it's going to be bringing in the best of the best that's going on right now. All right, so there are a few new things. They're going to be talking about a brand new marketplace. I don't know what that marketplace is, right? Which is funny because we're building our own marketplace. It's actually almost built next week, but we're a brand new marketplace. It's not ours. It's a different marketplace. So you can see that this is a theme now. An insane source of targeted traffic. Again, I don't know what that is yet. We're going to find out in the webinar on Monday. Then it's untapped by the biz op crowd, which is important because I think the biz op crowd is a little overwhelmed with, biz op stuff. And they said a business double the size of Amazon. I'm guessing that means that this particular marketplace is pretty big. Now, the new marketplace results that they have, they said the best day of sales was $35,239.45. Now, let me pull up a calculator because I want you to understand, and the best week was $159,978.97. And I put this note on here, so they didn't add that into their materials, right? So let's be clear, this is sales, not profit. You set your prices on your website, so the profit's going to vary, right? You might increase it by 10%, where somebody else might increase it by 30% or 50% or 100%. So the percentage is probably going to vary, but let's just say it's 20%. So we'll look at 35,239.45 times by 0.2, which is 20%. Right? That's $7,000 of profit in a day. Now, that was their best day. So let's cut that in half. So let's divide that by 2 and say that on average, you can get that every day. And then you have 365 days in a year, at least so far. That's a lot of money, right? That's a lot of potential profit. Now, I'm not saying that's what you can do. I'm just giving you guys a calculator, right? And just saying, hey, look, if you can do something like that, you can make a lot of money. So don't look at the numbers and say that relates to you or anything else. These are just examples. Obviously, these are people who are doing, are targeted. They know what they're doing, they're experienced, they have the processes in and out, et cetera, et cetera. So this may not be a number that you could reach. Who knows? Could you? Maybe. I've seen people do it. I don't think we had a best day that was 35,000, but I think my sister on a much smaller marketplace had a month that was 35,000, think even higher than that. I'd have to ask her. I can't remember. We talked about it before, but anyway, so that's just some numbers. Now is I think I'm going to stop taking my medication, which would be my asthma inhaler, which is making me jittery. Sorry. Is Kibo Eclipse a good idea? So Chrissy and I have been in e-commerce as long as we've had internet access, though I will say it's changed a lot. Thanks mostly to PayPal because they did change the dynamics of that. I remember when you had to hope that people would call and give their credit card number or mail in their orders, even if they called you, they'd be like, oh yeah, let me mail it in, because you had to have their signature on file. That was a nightmare, by the way. Now, you need to be in e-commerce if you want to make money. That's just the reality of life. If you want to sell in any type of retail environment, then you need to be in e-commerce, even if you're selling local, right? That's a whole thing now, right? E-commerce is not a fad, and it's not going away. People like the idea of being able to push a button and pick up a product, or push a button and have a product delivered to them, right? They love this. This is not going away. So if you have any inkling of making money online or selling stuff, you need to be in e-commerce. But we truly believe you need a variety of e-commerce and online sales elements to scale and maximize profits, which is why we also talk about affiliate marketing, and we talk about print on demand, and we talk about, drop shipping. And I know there's another one we talk about. Anyway, but in e-commerce specifically, this is a great idea. And as one of your methods, and it could be your primary method, right? You could be doing drop shipping and then affiliate marketing, right? You could be doing those two, and now you're diverse enough, and you could even add that on later and just start with Kibo, right? This is a big enough business and a big enough opportunity that you can scale without having to add on anything else to start with. But eventually you're going to want to diversify. The pandemic taught us that, right? The pandemic really taught us that. So why does the Kibo system work? No inventory is the number one thing. Chrissy and I have, her entire house is filled with our inventory right now. So we can tell you not having inventory is a definite bonus. Now, for us, it doesn't make any sense for us to turn off one of our monetary spigots, so to speak, right? We want to keep our businesses running. So adding on drop shipping for us is a next common sense step, but you don't have to have inventory to make money. Right? Somebody else can have the inventory. In fact, that's an entire business model where you buy the inventory, you bring it in and put it in warehouses so you don't have it. You don't have to do all of that because this is all built into the drop shipping model. So this drop shipping is straight to the customer, right? You don't need to package items and get them shipped. I am pretty sure my brother-in-law would be appreciative of us not having inventory, because Chrissy and I fill up a couple of bags full of product every day that he has to take to the post office, right? And then on top of that, if we want to ship other things, we can't. The UPS store and FedEx systems here are just horrid. So it's like you can't. It's a disgusting experience, and it's not worth it if you don't have to do it, right? So that's just something to think about for inventory. But the biggest reason why the Kibo system works is you can scale this as big as you want. You just add more suppliers and more products. Now, again, I'm going to make this note about suppliers again. These are all USA-based suppliers. So we're selling in the US and we're shipping from suppliers in the US. And no, you don't have to be in the US to do this. But these are not, the products themselves are manufactured all over the world, right? Suppliers have them manufactured all over the world, and they bring them into the United States. And so the actual physical products are here in the US, but they are not necessarily US made. So I want to make sure that that is very clear. And let's talk about our exclusive bonuses. Now, you cannot get these anywhere else. People say this all the time. They're like, our exclusive, or they'll say semi-exclusive, right? And that's because they're partnering with the people, like, so in this case, Aiden and Steve. I don't think they have any. I haven't seen any semi-exclusive that we can offer. But sometimes people go, oh yeah, pick from this list that you can give away. And so people don't have to come up with their own bonuses. We don't like to do that because we want to help you build. Now, you can get everything you need from Kibo without any type of bonus whatsoever, right? And they'll have their own bonuses that they include, and everybody's going to get those. But we want to make sure that you succeed. So here's what we have included so far. And I didn't put number 2 and number 3. I did color code them though. So I put number 1, bonus number 1. We're going to be doing a Pinterest e-commerce workshop. Now, Pinterest keeps changing, so we're not going to do the actual workshop until after we launch, because I've been fine-tuning it, and there's a couple of steps that I think we have to do. But this is going to be specifically how to drive traffic to your Kibo store from Pinterest. I've been testing this with Etsy. I've been trying to get it set up on our marketplace, which is that our marketplace has to be fully built in order for it to work, and that's the challenge. So, but I've been doing this with Etsy and driving traffic galore to it, right? So Pinterest is a really great place because e-commerce really relies on pictures, on images. So if they're scrolling through Pinterest and they see an image of a product that they like, they're going to click on it. If it's your pin, they're clicking on the product, they're going to your store. There are some steps you need to do, right? And so we're going to teach a Pinterest e-commerce workshop that's specifically how to drive traffic to your Kibo store. Now I put a $197 value, but really it's probably a lot higher than that. But I don't know how many people would really pay more than $197 to go through a workshop, but I think it would be a higher value if you're getting a lot out of it. I can tell you now somebody else charged something similar for another workshop, and that's why I put that amount on there. Honestly, I don't know why people put values on here. They could put whatever number they want, right? So the next one is lifetime access to the master marketing course. Now we did this course, or at least parts of it, last year. So if you're like, hey, I already get access to that, fine. Then this is just an extra bonus for the people who don't have it yet. We're redoing the whole thing though. And if you got access to it before, just contact me once we get it built and we'll go ahead and give you access to it again. This is our marketing omnipresence and multi-channel selling. This is something that is critical for e-commerce because you need to be everywhere marketing and you don't want to be doing it yourself. So it's going to be automation. It's going to be setting up the systems. It's going to be making sure that you are in front of your audience in as many places as possible and driving traffic back to your products, right? So that's that whole course will walk you through that. You don't need this to be successful. You do need this to scale, right? Because you can be successful walking through everything Kibo related, but eventually they're going to get you to a point where you go, what's next? And they're going to either have to add more training, which they did not do last time, or they're going to have to talk to you one-on-one, which I think they'll do that selectively. It just depends on how much sales you're doing in sales. But the information we're going to provide in this master marketing course is a huge value. I have never seen a course sell for this type of course sell for less than, I think it was a $9,000 course. So I put a $3,500 value on here, but I think when you get into it and you start seeing how much information there is, you're going to see that $3,500 value is really an accurate, if not under the value. Now, this next one is a real world value, the Merchlet Marketplace. And that might be the first time I've said our marketplace name. It's called Merchlet. That's our marketplace. And we're going to have subscriptions where people can prepay at a discounted value. And we'll talk about that in a second. But 5 years. So if you were to buy this at regular retail value, it would be a $3,600 value. And I put plus, and I'll explain in a minute. Your subscription to the Merchlet Marketplace isn't going to start until after beta. So you're going to get, if you want to get into beta and you want to get stuff set up and tested and everything, you can do all of that, right? But you're always going to get the highest subscription level. And right now we have our highest subscription level estimated at about $60. And that's because we're trying not to go too high, but we know we need to have some people are going to need to have that higher level. So if you're like, hey, I want Kibo, I want to get involved, but I also want to be able to get into the marketplace, you can get into the Merchlet Marketplace, and you'll be able to get, just by purchasing Kibo, you get a bonus of 5-year subscription to our marketplace. So you wouldn't have to pay for 5 years. And then after that, we would lock you in at the lowest price that we have. Now, not then, now. Now, I should note that only those who purchase Kibo through us this year will be able to join our marketplace as a dropshipper. You can join as whatever you want outside of it, right? But no other dropshippers are going to be permitted at this time. And that's because, well, dropshipping is kind of a risky business in the first place. If you are doing it like from China and stuff, we know that Kibo is a good dropshipping model, right? We've used it. We've been selling products with it. We know the model enough to say, hey, we're confident that we're not going to be risking our, gosh, I can't think of the name of it now. Payment, whatever. The payment processor, that's what it is. We're not going to be risking our payment processor by putting Kibo people on here. Now, I will say I do not know if we're going to be able to integrate at this time, and that's because they don't have the Kibo system doesn't have a public API. So I have to hire somebody and we have to get them to look at it. That's down the line. So I don't know if we'll be able to integrate, but it's going to be really simple otherwise to, manage it. Now, pricing. So what if you don't want Kibo? Let's quick talk about that. So you don't feel obligated to buy Kibo if you don't want to, right? Let me pull this up. Okay. So we did, I'll move this out of the way for a second. So Kibo Code is most likely a $3,500 price tag again. I believe that's what I saw in the JV documents, but I didn't see a specific number. They just said, oh, this is, the commissions, this is everything else. So I'm like, I think it's still going to be a $3,500 price tag. We will permit a limited number of people to purchase a discounted subscription to Merchlet. And then, of course, they'll be able to lock in that price per month after the prepaid subscription. If you don't get Kibo through us, or you don't want to buy Kibo, you will not be able to list dropship products on the marketplace, on the Merchlet marketplace. And you'll have to choose from the subscriptions available. So what we're going to do is, for a limited time, we're going to let people, and we haven't opened this yet, don't worry. And there will be plenty of ones that are under this value too. This is the highest one, right? So we're going to have the high one at $60. So if somebody goes, hey, I want to go ahead and lock in at $40 a month, but they have to prepay for a year, right? So they would have to be normally $720. They would prepay for $480. And after that, we'd switch it to $40 a month. And then same thing for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. You can see that at 5 years, it would be $28 a month. So even though you could come in and buy it right now for $1,680 instead of $3,500, you wouldn't get the drop shipping, and you wouldn't get Kibo Code. I mean, that's the whole thing, right? So you pay the $3,500 to Kibo Code. We're giving you this actual $1,600.80. You don't have to pay that, right? So this is where it's like, well, we wanted to make sure that if Kibo people want to get onto the marketplace, they know buy through us, you're getting this bonus. Right now, if you're like, hey, I don't want to do Kibo, don't worry about it. We'll have subscriptions. We'll have monthly ones, etc. We'll have that's the highest one. You might be like, hey, I can just live off the free one, right? So there's a lot of different things. And in the next couple of days, we'll be releasing a lot of information about our marketplace. But Kibo's launching. I don't want people to miss out. So that is that on the pricing. So next steps. Sign up for Kibo information. The link should be in the description. I've been playing with that description and tried to update it 3 times. So at least that one should be there. And then after you sign up, let me see if I still have that open. So yeah, after you sign up, you'll get a little video here, and then you'll be able to come in and register for the webinars on Monday. And Monday is when you really want to go. So pick one you're going to go to. Ask questions if you're at the least bit interested in this. Ask the questions that are stopping you from getting this, because it really is a good program. Dropshipping in and of itself is not my favorite. But then, honestly, I don't know that I have a favorite e-commerce business model anymore. And that's because all of them have changed. And what I like about dropshipping is the no inventory. But what I like about the inventory ones is like when I get to manufacture my own stuff, or I get to have the physical products when somebody asks me questions, I have more control over it. But that's just me, right? That's just me being, I don't want to be in control. So I like that, but I also like the dropshipping. I've done dropshipping for as long as I can remember. And it's always worked out okay. And I mean, there's still, like I said, pros and cons and challenges, but whatever. So they'll go through and you can download they have an ebook and this little blueprint here that you can download. There's Aiden and Steve right there. And you'll get access to that, but you want to make sure you register for one of these. Okay. So that's what you do after you sign up. So the first link will take you to the initial sign up, you'll sign up. If you go through our link, you should be hard coded to us. So when you make the purchase, you should be able to say, hey, I made the purchase through you, send me the information, and I'll be able to match it up. If you don't go through our link and you get hard coded to somebody else, it could be kind of challenging to change that. So if you haven't gone yet, click that link, sign up, you'll be hard coded to us when you'll get information, and then you don't have to worry about trying to remember that. And then you want to sign up for Merchlet updates and get registered next week. Next week is when we are going to have both alpha, and then hopefully within the week after that, we'll be entering into beta. And beta will last a couple months, and then we'll be open for just regular stuff, right? I don't know what comes after beta. I don't know. I've only ever heard beta. So, all right. So now we've got, okay, so I said that sign up for our marketplace. And of course, we're taking on new accounts starting next week. Links for everything mentioned should be in the description, which was 2 things. Join our Facebook group. Dang it, I forgot to put that link there. Facebook.com/groups/Little Biz Resources. That one's pretty easy. Or you can just go search Little Biz Resources in the groups and you'll find us. And then, of course, each week we have our live webinar. Don't ask me what happened last week because I have no idea. I know I did a video and I was live streaming, but I don't know where it went. So I have no idea. So check the channel banner. Right now it's every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, which makes it pretty late everywhere else, but that's the time we have to do right now. And then we have live Q&A. So I don't see any questions so far. And I'm looking. See, it does tell me there are people on, but it's glitchy. So anyway, I don't see anybody on. I don't see any questions. So if you do have questions, you can always reach out. If you, you can hop into the Facebook group. You can post them on here if you want. I should be able to see them when they come in. YouTube usually notifies me. And we'll be doing more videos and sending more stuff out all week. This is very limited if you want Kibo, but I want to make sure you guys saw our bonuses because it's a really great opportunity to get into our marketplace. And what we do, and the reason why we're doing that, if you've made it this long on the call, or on the replay too, is that what we're doing is we're taking the money, the affiliate money that we get, and we're investing that into the marketplace. So once we get enough of that, so if we get enough people signing up through us, or we get enough people prepaying for the subscriptions, we can move our integrations and move our hosting up, and we can do a lot more, a lot faster. So that's what we're kind of saying. Hey, if we get the bonuses from this, we want to support Kibo. We think it's a good idea. If you put your products from your Kibo shop onto the marketplace, we help promote them, right? That's part of the whole marketplace. We're promoting the marketplace. We're promoting the products in the marketplace. And I'll be sharing some of those strategies with you so you can send them to your shop as well, or to your own Kibo store. So there's, we hope to make this a huge benefit for everybody. But in order to do that, we have to have money coming in to help build the marketplace. So we either have to sell the subscriptions, or we can do something like this where we offer the bonuses. So if you are interested in Kibo Code and you're like, hey, I like this, get it through our link, and we will make sure that we take care of you in the marketplace, and we help get you training and sales and everything else. So, all right, I don't see any questions, so I'm going to leave it at that. And if you do have questions, pop them into the Facebook group, or you can reach out to me, and I will see you guys next week or in the Facebook group. Go ahead and